Okay, so periodic table. Remember, there's lots of elements. What are some things every element has? Anybody know? Aiden?
Atoms.
Atoms. They're all made up of atoms. And all of their atoms have what three particles, Elise? Protons, neutrons, and electrons, okay? So up here, you do not have to memorize anything about the periodic table. Anytime you will need a periodic table, we will give you a periodic table to use, okay? You will not have to memorize anything up here yet till your high school classes, okay? But there are some that are solids. Some can be liquid form, some can be gas form, some can be all of them. There are metals and nonmetals. Remember some of those words from reading the lesson? But each of these elements on the periodic table, if we broke it down, they all kind of have a model in the periodic table that looks like this. What page is this on in your notebook? 9. Everybody flip to page 9 in your notebook. We're going to take some notes because the periodic table gives us lots of information. We just have to know how to read it. We have to know what each of those little things stand for. Does anybody think they know what we're going to label any of those 4 things? There's some that are kind of obvious. Aubrey? Okay, so you're saying that O represents oxygen. You're right. Does anybody remember what we call those letters? Clara?
Symbol.
The symbol. So the giant O is the element symbol. Okay, it's just a symbol that any scientist would know. A giant O represents the element oxygen, so they don't have to write out oxygen over and over and over. Okay, if you know that one, you probably know what we're going to write here. What do you think we're going to say that represents? Elise? Can you give me one more word?
Label.
Gabe?
Label.
Addie? The symbol is the O. You guys are overthinking it. Kinley? The name of the element. It's the element name. It's the element name. Okay? It is what, when you see the symbol, you think oxygen because that's the name of the element. Now, the other two you do not know yet, so I'm just going to label them and talk about them. The number at the top, okay? Sometimes it's in the top left corner. Sometimes it's written just right above the label, depending on the periodic table. So I want you to write or and just draw an arrow over, because sometimes it's in that top left corner. Sometimes it's over in the center. It's never in both places. It's one or the other. There will be a little number up at the top. Did you already write that down? Okay. And then that number represents the atomic number. And I'm just going to put the number symbol instead of writing out the word N-U-M-B-E-R. I want somebody to look at the notes from Friday, the atom notes, and tell me, why is the atomic number important? Look at our notes and see where we talked about the atomic number. Where did we talk about the atomic number? Bryson, do you see the atomic number anywhere in our notes? Lexi? What'd we put? Hold on. That was atomic mass and atomic number. Did we mention atomic number anywhere else? Augie? Okay, so the number of protons equals the atomic number. Okay, so right here under atomic number, just draw a line. We're going to make a bullet point. This is shows the number of protons. Okay, it shows the number of protons. It also helps you find the element on the periodic table because they're in order by their atomic number. Okay, in just a second I'll pull the periodic table back up and show you that. But it also, if you know you're looking for element 52, we can kind of classify them by their atomic number. It's right next to 51 and 53. Okay, it makes it easy. That's how they organize the periodic table. You might think they know what that last number is. Fisher? No? What it represents. It's on our notes somewhere. Huntley? It is the atomic mass. Okay, and oftentimes in 5th grade, the atomic mass is rounded to the nearest whole number. So right now it's 15.9999. If this was a 5th grade assignment, what do you think that would be rounded to? Addie? 16. Okay, so in parentheses next to it, just write 16. If you are ever working on a 5th grade assignment and that number is not rounded, just round it to the nearest whole number, okay? Because we don't do decimals just yet. Okay, the atomic mass, make a little bullet point here. Does anybody have a formula for me for atomic mass? If you read your notes, something plus something equals the atomic mass. Elise? It is numbers, but it's something plus something equals atomic mass. Lexi? What'd you say? Protons plus neutrons. So we're given a little addition sentence here. Protons plus neutrons equals atomic mass. So the number of protons plus the number of neutrons equals our atomic mass. So if you like math, today's going to be a good day because we're going to do math in science. What kind of math do you think we're going to be doing? Addition or subtraction? Okay, so now you have this label right next to your periodic table. So I'm going to quiz you a little bit on some of this stuff. So I want you to look at your periodic table, turn it to where you can see it. Let me get a periodic table out. Okay, I want you guys to find the element that has an atomic number of 74. Who can tell me the element name of 74? The element that has an atomic number of 74. Wyatt, what's the name of that one? Tungsten. Tungsten. What is the label for tungsten, Clara? W. Symbol is W. Remember, some of the symbols make sense, some of them do not, and that's okay. They don't have to make sense right now. It's probably a Latin term that gives us that symbol. What is the atomic mass of tungsten rounded to the nearest whole number? Rounded to the nearest whole number. Jackson?
180.80.
Whole numbers. No points.
Oh.
So right now we see, what number do you see?
183.
Okay, and that next digit's an 8. So would that stay a 3 or round up to a 4?
Stay a 3. Round up a
Round up to a 4. So rounded, it would be 184 would be the atomic mass. How many protons does tungsten have? How many protons does tungsten have, Kinley?
74.
How do you know?
Because that's the atomic number.
Because the atomic number equals the number of protons, okay? Find element 33. What is the symbol for 33? Braylon?
AS.
That's why I picked it. I like those letters. What is the name? Bryson? Arsenic. What is the atomic mass of that element, Gabe? Rounded to the nearest whole number. 75, good job. How many protons are in that element, Hutley? 33. Okay, so you can get lots of information. We're about to figure out even more information in just a second, just by looking at each of those little boxes on the periodic table. Okay? Go back to your atom notes. I want you to kind of have your atom notes next to your notebook kind of opened up. So you can see the oxygen label that we just completed. You can see the periodic table if needed. But we're going to add to the bottom of our atom notes. Let me get mine pulled up. When we are looking at the model of an atom, which particle is easiest to identify? Which particle is easiest to identify? Addie J?
Electrons.
The electrons. Why are they the easiest to identify?
They're on the outer shell.
Yeah, they're on the outer shell or the rings. So on that first example on the atoms notes on the left side, I want you guys to count how many electrons are there while I'm trying to get mine pulled up. Hold on, give me a second. We got all the top notes completed, right? Okay. Okay, and mine got shifted a little bit, but we are looking at this one right here, the blue and white one. Ava, how many electrons are there? 8, because we count each ring. When I count them, I mark them because what happens when you're counting in a circle? What sometimes happens? You'll count the same one twice. So when I'm counting them, I just put a slash through them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so right under that, your atom note should be out. Right under that, let me see if I can get it all on the screen at the same time. No, since mine shifted, I can't. Is atomic mass the bottom thing? Or is there something else under? Okay, I can write that out to the side. Okay, so we counted 8 whats? 8 electrons. So I want you to put where it says number of electrons, and we're under this one. Again, mine got pushed kind of out of control here. There are 8 electrons. Now, I'm going to go up and read what we wrote about electrons, because we all agree those are the easiest ones to find, correct? Okay, so I'm going to go up to the top. It says they circulate outside of the nucleus in the outer shells. We just counted them. They have a negative charge, and it's the same number as protons. So if I have 8 electrons, how many protons do I have, Hutley? 8. If I know my number of protons is 8, what else has to be 8? Braxton?
Neutrons.
Not necessarily neutrons. What did we just say was the same as the protons in our notes? Carter? Our atomic number. Okay, our atomic number also has to be 8. Now, to find neutrons, you usually have to do a little bit of math. Okay? The last thing down here says what? Element. For the atomic mass, I have to know the number of protons and add it to the number of neutrons. Do I know the number of neutrons yet? No. What else do I know right now? Or could I go find? I'm looking for neutrons, atomic mass, or name of the element. Elise?
You can look at how many protons there.
Wyatt, it should be in your red folder.
You can look how many protons there are, and that has to be the same number of neutrons.
Atomic mass minus atomic number equals neutrons, but we do not know the atomic mass, so we can't do that subtraction problem. Addie?
You could find the element because
We know the atomic number is 8. We know the atomic number is 8. On your periodic table, find the element that has an atomic number of 8. Ava, what label are we looking at? O, which is oxygen. You guys actually have a giant 8 label right next to your periodic table. That is the one that we had the example on. So this is the oxygen element. So down where it says element, right, oxygen. Now, from our periodic table, can we get the atomic mass? What is the atomic mass that I write down, Addie? 16. Remember, that's always the pretty number. You don't write the long, ugly ones. Now, for atomic mass, you will always have a math problem. Either an addition problem or a subtraction problem. I do not care which. But this says protons plus neutrons. I'm not going to move mine down anymore. Do you guys have room under there to write a little math sentence under protons and neutrons? Like right here? Okay, I'm going to do mine. No. So it says protons plus neutrons. Do we know our number of protons?
Yes.
What is it? 8 plus, do we know our number of neutrons? No, so we're just going to put a box. Has to equal our atomic mass. What is our atomic mass? 16. We got that from where? Where did we get that? The atomic mass. So now 8 plus what equals 16? Emily? 8. So that has to be 8. So my number of neutrons is also 8. Do we have everything filled in that we need in that? So your answer goes right there. What'd you say? We said the element was oxygen. We got that from the atomic number. I wish I could have this all up at once. Let's do this one. Let's go to the one on the far right, just so I can have it all up. This will be our last one of the day. Where should we look first? Where can I look first? What's the easiest thing to find on these, Mason? The electrons. Where do I find those?
In the outer shell.
In the outer shell. So let's go through and count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 electrons. Why in this one do I not really need to do any math to find protons and neutrons? Emma? Yeah, these are the ones, when we draw models, we draw them like this. The other one had it. See how they had little plus signs in them? We don't know that yet. So this one says P equals 7. What do you think P stands for? Protons. How many neutrons does it have? 7. It also has 7. What is its atomic number? Clara? How do you know it's also 7? It's not because all the numbers are 7. Because atomic number equals what? Number of protons, okay? Now, I told you for atomic mass, you will always have a quick number sentence. Kinley, what's my number sentence going to be here, my problem? 7 plus 7 is what? 14. So the atomic mass is 14. Now, the only thing we have to look at the periodic table for this one is to figure out what element is here. Lexi, how do you know? Which one are you, which of these numbers tells me where to go on the periodic table? I know, but which label? The atomic number. Yep, so this is nitrogen. Okay, we're actually going to stop there for today because we have to go sing to pre-K. You do have homework tonight. It's not super challenging. There's a few more vocab cards. There were 2 sheets of them, and I gave you 1 sheet of them the other day. This one has 5 more words on it. You'll do it just like we did the other day. I suggest glue it, fold it in half, and then slice them apart. Okay?